Snubs to the Rockets, for the love of the chopsticks. Ran up from the plug and I pop shit. Faced with immeasurable odds. Some of you niggas found pleasure in God. Measuring rod, they treasure their jobs. Athletic build, moving with purpose. Tapped in the magnetic fields, moving with serpents. Took my brokers a stroker. Al Roker couldn't predict the storms that followed, the porn that followed. Same a tree that formed for Rollo. We made it rain and we burnt money. Bentley truck, interior burnt honey. Anyway, I take respect over riches any day. I take neck from your bitches any day. Penny weight, that's a neck full of riches, Henny straight. Shifting through paradigms, the color of Geechee Dan. Drifting through the Carolines, color in the Geechee land. Time will tell. We move around at 33rd parallels, like Coney Island carousels. Fell asleep in Roswell, woke up in Cozumel. Pyramid hopping, chariot shopping. #1 seller, author of conscious fiction. Composition, confidence dripping. Continent drifting, a walking contradiction. With a contra addiction. Brooms and mops, mist and clean. We conquered the kitchen, facts in a fiction. Contrary to popular predictions. Red pill, popping your prescriptions, stopping your addictions. Yeah, bitch, I'm with the hoes. Black magic, yeah, bitch, I'm with the Zoes. Anything goes, cooking in Brooklyn. Cocaine to push, new strains of the Kush. We call that Hussein in the bush. We from distant lands. Our DNA, different strands, different strains. Same planet, but different planes. Citizen Kane, Rosebud, they wanna get us in chains. Rosewood, the safety, stay on position. Chaos position, never took the day off in kitchens. Way off we pitching. These bitches out here, fighting for fashion over. Crashing rovers, casting over 3 times. Pre-crimes, Versace from your heyday. On layaway like Takashi and Treyway. Hopping with the AK. The war is on double consciousness. The devil's competence and accomplishments. When rhetoric turns into reasons, then predicates turn into heathens. And the wolves in Connecticut is seasoned. Soon after disease will follow. I'm the same nigga that the D's would follow. Marlowe, my fam grew moving trees like Rollo. Before they seized the Gallardo. Went from Pablo, hopping out Diablos. Designer robes, dark side of the moon like the China probes. Believe it or not, my mind is all Wrigley's. Believe it or not, my mind on the big leagues. Ice Cube with the big 3. Vine in the fig tree. Man on the big B's. Moving back in time like the Frisbees.
There you have it, family. There you have it. Bill Bixby, streaming on all streaming platforms. I promise you, it sounds 100 times better when you listen to it on a streaming platform rather than listening to that shit on my janky ass computer. You know what I mean? You better off just go ahead to Tidal, go to Spotify, go to, I made it easy for us. Go to Tidal, go to Spotify, go to Deezer, you know, go to the places where y'all usually go to get your music, you know what I mean? It'll be there as well. So go put Bill Bixby in the search under Red Pillar, and go ahead and play, stream that, run that. But anyway, peace, love, and light to the family. Welcome to Melanin Monday 66. This is your host, Brother Red Pill, reporting live and direct from New York City, the BX to be exact. Can I get a, yeah, Pandora, it's on Pandora as well. Let me get a roll call. Let me get a shout out. Let me, where's the family at that's in the building tonight? All right. I know we got VA in the building. Empress B44 is in the building. Love and light to you, Empress B44. Peace. How you doing? All right. Michigan is in the building. Los Angeles is in the building. South Carolina, Los Angeles again. Phoenix is in the building. Strong Island is in the building. Okay, Philadelphia is in the building. San Diego is in the building. All right, Winston-Salem is in the building. South Carolina, 803 is in the building. Orlando is in the building. Detroit is in the building. NC is in the building. London is across the pond, is in the building. Kansas City, mine's not hot. Colorado's in the building. Colorado Springs. Michigan is in the building. Inkster to be exact. Oak Cliff, Texas is in the building. Salute to y'all. Man-made entertainment. Salute to Chicago. Over East is in the building. Oakland is in the building. All right. Indeed. Thank you, Empress B, and salute to you. Empress B said thank you to everybody in the chat, and especially everybody who sent her a cash app and sent condolences to her. Frisco is in the building. Charlotte, North Carolina is in the building. Salute. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of NCSC business. All right. Salute to all of y'all out there. Yes, the Red Pill 30-Day Fitness Challenge. North Dallas is in the building. Boston is in the building. LBC is in the building. Salute. Arlington, Texas is in the building. Okay. So we got a pretty well-rounded audience from all around the world. You feel me? On all of the continents. I know it's late. I have to say that as a opening, because I definitely wanted to get to y'all earlier, but today is Memorial Day. Not, and I don't celebrate Memorial. I don't even, we always reappropriated Memorial Day for a whole nother slew of things. When I was in the underworld, or the hood, or whatever they call it, Memorial Day was when we got fly, and we went to Miami and let it all hang out. Now Memorial Day is Dance Africa in Brooklyn, which is the beginning. It's the it's one of the inaugural festivals that kicks off what is known as festival season. And if anybody is a small business, black owned, who has products and services that you supply your community with, and one of the purposes of that is to be, one of the ways of doing that is to get it around your people, then you would be at these festivals. We would know you. You dig what I'm saying? I'll be familiar with you, because I've been going to them consistently for about 10 years. Let me see, where we at? And yeah, consistently, participating as a merchant. I won't even call it a vendor. So you're not vending. You're a merchant. You're a business. If you're at a festival and you have a tent and a table with and you have merch, or you have products and services and business cards and things of that nature, you qualify as a small business. You know, um, just a word of advice, throwing it out there for anybody who could relate a message to the guys upstairs. You know what I'm saying? To the higher ups. You know, at events like festivals where you have 100 to 500 black small businesses, and medium and maybe even large size businesses. But for the most, you have small businesses who need funding, would love to qualify for certain kind of loans that black banks or black equity owners, black investors, whoever, they should be They should send out liaisons, right, to these festivals. We should have more business being done on that level, meaning that our black businesses or these small businesses, we should be able to have the opportunity to secure loans at these festivals by loan, by banks and stuff of that nature. That's how you begin to grow your community. What other place, what other enclave, what other gathering of talented creatives, artisans, right? Innovators, where else do you find them at but at a festival? You got to go to where they at, and you got to go to where they're doing business at. Because none of these vendors or none of these small businesses or none of these entities necessarily hang out with each other on a daily basis, or they get up every week. This a once in a year. This is an annual gathering. You know what I'm talking about? Like, this is an annual, you know, um, event where all of these different talented multi-billionaire potentials, because if anybody knows anything, an inkling of financing or an inkling of anything else dealing with business, you know that it's about finding these prospects. You know this about finding, as an investor, as an angel investor, a lean investor, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, you're looking for somebody, you're looking for potential, you're looking for people with potential, small businesses with potential, creators with a potential, and especially the quote unquote patrons of our society. As patrons, people who are philanthropists, who consider themselves philanthropists, like the older, our older generation, who have a lot of old money, going back all the way into like civil rights and things of that nature, or even some of the people who got money in the 80s or the 90s, the ones who are able to be philanthropists. I don't even think they have been known to frequent these events and pick people or choose talent or decide to fund or loan or invest in you know their talent, their community, their networks, their tribe, things like that, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because at these festivals, you know 8 times out of 10, the people who are participating it from a commercial side, these people are linked in to this community and these networks. Like, these people are known by their community for being in the community. So I don't see why social entrepreneurs, and I'm just voicing that because I'm putting it on record that I participated in many of these events, and this is something that I'm identifying that I don't see. And as a problem solver, as somebody who has entrusted, myself as well as other people to carry out these solution-based initiatives, I'm just presenting a solution to something that I see is kind of stagnant, because all businesses can utilize three things to help them grow and to expand and to scale. These things are access to capital, meaning that you don't got to go in your pockets to fund all of your operations. Look, I'm a serial entrepreneur. This is what I identify as. I'm an infopreneur. I'm a technopreneur. I have a lot of things that I do. I have a lot of ventures because I have a lot of, it's part of a bigger purpose, right? So all of these ventures and all of these moves and all of these businesses and all of these ideas and all of these concepts and all of these initiatives, they're all self-funded. You understand what I'm saying? There's no connection to anything. I know that I know they think I'm a 38-degree Mason and whatnot, and I have a secret lodge somewhere, on Mount where Doctor Doom used to be at until they took him out. That's not the case. So everything is self-funded. The benefit, and I'm using myself as an example, but I know hundreds of businesses, small businesses, brothers and sisters who may be juggling a 9 to 5 because they don't have the operational income to jumpstart or kickstart or to leverage their weekend hustle or their festival business and whatnot. Because certain people activate their businesses or whatever or their brands only at festivals, and then it's back to the plantation. So the purpose of a Facts 2020 initiative, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody signing up to facts2020.org, okay? By the hundreds of us by the day. So the purpose of the initiative is to present solutions to situations such as what I'm identifying, because what our what we're missing a few things. You know what I'm saying? A union is one of them. Okay, a union is one of them. Okay, everybody's tents should look the same. If anybody's ever been to Afro Punk, the way that they have that shit laid out, that's the template on how to do modern day festivals. You know, and I'm not necessarily talking about Dance Africa, the one that we was just at per se, but you know, a lot of things have to be updated. You know what I'm saying? But those small businesses, they definitely deserve investors. They definitely deserve people who can help them. One of the second things in business is manufacturing. Okay, if these small businesses and these small companies and these startups and whatnot had access to manufacturing that did not involve, you know, them outsourcing at a high price to people who are not, you know, necessarily in their best interest, we would definitely see an increase and a uptick and a leveling up of many businesses. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, I'm at these festivals and there are hundreds of businesses that are out there, and they're from people like us. So we can never have the argument, or nobody can ever say, what about starting with, you know, black businesses? And I think, no, black businesses done started. We done, they done got started already. The businesses are up. Anywhere that I go, Detroit, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, LA, New York, Philly, Newark. These are all of the places that Norfolk. These are all of the places that we've been less than a year, not even a year now. We've been to all of these places, and I'm telling you, I'm not a kind of person that I mean, you, if anybody follows us on social media, you see, I'm going into the hood. I'm going to get something to eat. Like, I'm going to check out what the black businesses look like. I'm going to patronize them. I want to meet them. If I can help promote their business by taking a picture and tagging it and whatnot, I'm doing that because I'm gonna be like, yo, these are the people that y'all need to come and check out. You know how many people have hit me back and was like, yo, we started getting traffic, more traffic, people coming through saying that they seen the picture that y'all was in there and they started coming here, they didn't even know that we existed, or stuff like that. So that's called promotions. You understand? That's called lending your face and lending your name and lending your brand and lending everything about you, your light, to somebody else's situation to brighten it up. You know what I'm saying? Translation, you know, product placement. Translation, you know, we need you to put something on that we own, and you know, we know that people will start wearing that. It's only business. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? The shit's, you know, it's not. It's not rocket science. This is 101. This is 101. Okay, shout out to everybody that's signing up to the Facts 2020. Okay, you know, and I want to definitely see every single business, you know, that I'm affiliated with, and the families that I see out there, the young women that I see out there, the single mothers that I see out there, the young brothers that I see out there, the young wives, couples, husband and wife couples that I see out there. These people have aspirations to be in business. These people have aspirations to own and be private and private citizens by operating in the private, by being owners. You understand? By being, not only owners but producers. Not only producers, but the benefactors of all of their sweat equity. Translation: whatever sweat you busting, whatever energy you burning, you know what I'm saying? Whatever tears is rolling down your eyes, at least you're getting a majority percentage of whatever the kickback to all of that is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Rather than doing all of that and just getting some crumbs. You know that part? So that's very important. That is very important. You know. Thank you for that reminder, Empress B. Make sure y'all go and watch The Importance of Vertical Integration. Okay, red pill and blue pill talk about the importance of vertical integration. I uploaded about four new videos on Know the Ledge Media. Make sure you subscribe to the page and then click on the videos. You'll see the uploads. We just uploaded it. These are videos shot by my good brother, Mr. G. Shout out to Mr. G. Mr. G is coming out with a book on July 17th. His Time with Dr. Sabi. That book is a must read. Even before you go and watch the documentary, that is a precursor to the documentary. He is a producer on the Dr. Sabi documentary with Nick Cannon. The brother is official. He is not like somebody just popped up and said something. This brother spent the last years of Dr. Sabi's life with him, cataloging hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Dr. Sabi talking to him and speaking to him and telling him things that he was supposed to, you know what I mean? He was relaying to him because this man was his biographer. So he has an actual biographer on the scene. He actually has somebody who has his complete story. You understand? From his words, his mouth. This is Mr. G. And Mr. G is the brother who shot the videos this weekend. He was in Brooklyn with us. If you look at the flyer or the picture that I have on the cover of this video, you know, there was some giants that came out this weekend. I'm talking about when you realize and you recognize and you understand the depth, the width, and the deepness of how far back, how deep into the ethers, into the unknowns that our people, you know what I mean? Our energy, our spirits, our minds, everything. Like, we are some powerful people walking this planet right now. I'm here to say this. If you see the greatness in Sabi, you got to see the greatness in Ma'a. You got to see the greatness in Mama Pill, because therefore you're not recognizing that they work as a team. It's like talking about Jordan and you won't even talk about Pippen. You understand? People work as a team. This is teamwork that you see taking place. Greatness doesn't work alone. Tell you something. Greatness does not work alone. I don't know who fooled you niggas. When you think you could do it on your own, or when you think greatness don't rub shoulders with greatness, don't rub shoulders with greatness, don't rub shoulders with greatness. These them galaxies that the Hubble telescope keep telling these Europeans that is this out there. This the far-reaching galaxies. I'm talking about great people always circulate around great people the same way that planets circulate around a sun. You understand? These people are planets. Your constellation is gonna have all kind of stars and supernovas and you know, other planets that circle a sun. So you should be used to having great people in your circumference, because I don't know no great people who don't know a gang load of other great people. You know what I'm talking about? And if you have a person who's out there who's not used to being around other great people, he usually sabotages his greatness, because when he gets around the greatness, that nigga don't know how to act. You understand? And he turns into a jealous god. It's a difference. You understand? There's a difference. So I was around greatness this weekend. I don't think we understand how powerful we are. I'm going to break this thing down real quick. I was with 1% of what y'all will call the conscious community, or the woke folk, or whatever the name is that they thinking of, or they've crunched in one of these think tanks that's aligned with Black Twitter. You know what I mean? Whatever name, whatever colorable term they're trying to apply to box in, categorize, and to try to paint with this broad ass, silly ass brush. Yeah, not that. Not that. I ain't talking about that. I was with 1% of the gods and the goddesses who were here. 1%. Not really though, but number wise, 1%. Because remember, the cream is in the 1%. The cream rises to the top. Translation in mathematics: 1%, 1% owning all of this wealth. Look, the nigga, that means that the formula works. Okay. That 1% could be whatever. But number wise, it was about 40,000 of us out there, right? 50,000, you know. I didn't get the count. I don't have a counter. You feel me? I might even be reaching with the numbers. But it might have been 50 or something. If anybody was out there this weekend and you're in the chat, you throw a number out there and we'll see if we could crunch it. But look, there's videos on YouTube that do 50,000 in one day, right? There's videos out there that's doing millions and whatnot. There's a ton load of videos that show you that these numbers are very deep. And I've been to different states, and I'm here to let you know this conscious thing is it's the waviest wave. It's the fastest growing movement in Black America. It don't got a face. It don't got a shape. You understand? It don't have a color, nor do that shit got a you know what I mean? Nor does it have an outfit. It's niggas in dashikis. You know what I'm talking about? And it's niggas in dickies rolling up. You feel me? All the way, it's whatever. It don't matter. Full facial tats, no face, hair. Like, you heard Andre 3000? They broke that spell back in Outkast days. Niggas don't give Outkast, Goody Mob their credit. They definitely don't give Dead Prez their credit. They do not give Dead Prez the credit that they deserve. Dead Prez, just in hood. Let's keep it a Buckington. Them niggas made you nervous. You were confused why these niggas wasn't eating more avocados and hugging trees and whatnot when they was really in a hood though, in Brooklyn. That's a factory. This was early 3000. This was early 2000s. This shit was unheard of in the in some conscious circles. So shout out to Dead Prez. Shout out to the A-Alikes, you know what I mean? RBG, revolutionary but gangster. Let's get free. They were really good. They were giving people, I remember listening to the intro. Nobody was talking like that. Nobody was talking like that. Remember wolves? Nobody was having that conversation on wax. Even in the streets, from what I remember, not no young people like that. So they brought a lot. They fed the game a lot. I don't know, because a lot of people who just got on to this conscious or woke thing, y'all don't know nothing of what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about 97. When I was in Atlanta in 97, I was in Atlanta before Atlanta is what it is right now. Nigga, we came from Bed-Stuy and Flatbush and actually planted the seeds to the fuckery. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the always being in the club, the Black Hollywood shit, the labels, being fly, getting Gucci down. That was Burger, G Young, and Twin. You go and do your research. You know what I mean? We didn't come down there and they was on that time. They was on their own time, but they wasn't on that time. You know what I'm talking about? They wasn't on that time. So I was there in the beginning of this shit, so I could speak from a place of all experience, live from the locks, living off experience. That's a factory. A Rashid, I got witnesses. A Rashid, the master teacher, the Kabbalah God, he was there before he got locked down. There's a few people that was there. So, you know, it got the most potential. Because if I could make it out and become who I've become, then a whole bunch of people could become who they need to become. It can't just be me. So if I could make it out, if I could live out my destiny, then I've been around greatness. So I know greatness when I see it. I know greatness when I'm around it. It's a lot of people who I don't think they understand the level of greatness that they possess, or who, you know what I mean, or who they are, especially dudes and shorties that are basically flirting with death, taking penitentiary chances, risking it all for the fiat. You know what I'm talking about? And not the Basquiat. You know what I'm saying? You're not going hard for some art, nigga. You're not risking it all to make art. You're not risking it all to do the sciences. You're not risking it all to build something. You're not risking it all to steal something. You're not risking it all to kill something. You're not doing all of that. What the fuck are you doing it for? You know what I'm saying? I can understand if somebody was on the web, jugging, swiping, wild crazy and whatnot, putting everything on the line, going into mad stores that have face recognition cameras, 4K, HD, 360, you name it, body cams, whatever. These niggas got advanced technology. You're going into mad stores, just putting it all on the line for belts and sneakers. You're not purchasing 1,000 books to read. You're not doing anything. So it's a lot of misdirection and unorganization and backwards. When you're not living, LIVED is lived. Backwards is devil. DEVIL. Jay-Z called it evils. You understand? When you're not living, you're living out the evils. You're living backwards. So they have our culture living backwards like vultures, eating off of the carcasses of the ones who we see in the Game of Thrones as the White Walkers, the Walking Dead. But in modern day Negro terms, that's the zombies from the Thriller video, who were the same crackheads from Night of a Living Basehead, who were basically our people who was smoking and fucking with the crack. That was the zombie shit. And then now we have in this modern day generation the spilling out of, or the offshoot, or the off kill of that zombie generation with the key generation. That is a fact. It's all connected. How do you find the Eventbrite for the Texas June 9th event? Y'all might have to cash at me for the Texas event at my cash app money sign PHILMORELAND. I believe Professor Griff was supposed to put up the Eventbrite. It hasn't gone up yet. So I'm just, if you want to get the tickets, the pre-sales, they're $25. Hit me on the Cash App. We will be in Houston Sunday, June the 9th. Sunday, June the 9th in Houston, Texas at the Shape Center, the historical black-owned Shape Center from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Red Pill, Blue Pill, Professor Griff, Fear of a Black Planet 2, Media Manipulation of Melanated Minds. And we lay things that we're talking about tonight along with some other high complex information down to the people in all of Texas, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, wherever you from, Sunday, June 9th. If it's important to you, if you want to see the gods in the flesh, if you want to purchase some Kings County, some Seventh Heaven Seymours, if you want to, you know what I mean? If you want to plug in, the whole weekend is a vibe. I'm going to be at the Loaded Lux rap battle with URL, Night Gnome, where he's battling Averb. I'm gonna make sure I'm at that. I'm gonna be at a pop up as well with Pop Darby, and I'm gonna be at the trade show, the ISS Clothing and Apparel Trade Show in Houston, Texas. So we got a busy weekend, but Sunday, June 9th, pull up in the building. And if you want to buy pre-orders, hit the Cash App with 25 and just say pre-order with your name and your email, and I'll make sure to send you an email back to verify that I got the bread. All right, and then we'll send you your tickets. And by next show, we'll have that Eventbrite page up. But we do have the Eventbrite link for the American Gods, and that's next weekend, June 2nd. This is a live stream, so everybody can see it like the same way that you're looking at me right now. But the only difference is it's going to have slides, it's going to have information, and we're going to be teaching hard body about the American gods, the connection to kingship, godhood, and hip hop. Okay, kingship, godhood, and hip hop in this modern day world in 2020, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? You know, there's nobody really unpacking this properly. So I'm getting tired of waiting for somebody to touch on this stuff. And I'm gonna put it on my shoulders, you know, and do what it does. But I need y'all to show up. You know what I mean? I need y'all to go and cop them tickets. So go to americangods.eventbrite.com, americangods.eventbrite.com. The June 2nd lecture is going to be from 4 p.m., I believe, to 8 p.m. Okay? The flyer is on my Instagram, and it's also on this YouTube page. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. live stream right through your phone. You get the ticket, then we'll send you the link to your phone. You click on it, you come in the room, boom. You know what I mean? We live. So, getting back to the festival, that was a public service announcement. You know, we got to improvise and do our own commercials. There's some other things that are coming up, but I want to just focus on Houston. If you're not from Houston, spread that shit like you spread rumors. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we will be in this city come June 9th. You know what I mean? This is when the network comes together, and this is when we all work with each other. Spread the flyer. The flyer's on the Instagram. It's a last minute kind of thing, but it's something that needs to happen. So we're going there. We will be moving around all summer, doing different dates. But for now, we in Houston. That's a factory. That's a facsimile. You know what I'm talking about? That's a fax domino. So make sure y'all tell somebody. And I hope if you see me at that battle, holler at your peoples. But getting back to this festival, I don't want to get off track. Okay. So for people who might not be familiar, what is this dude talking about? Dance Africa is it's an annual event that's been going on for 30 years at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. Now, if anybody's from New York and you left that area, when you come back to the area known as Brooklyn Academy of Music, you will not recognize what you see because there's been a revitalization and you know, a buildup of that whole area, starting with the Barclays Center. That's in the area of where the Barclays Center is, and they've erected what we call ivory towers, okay, in these areas, and they've erected multiple, you know, developments. Now, this might be controversial, but I'm gonna get on record and say this. Like, I speak about gentrification and what it means, and the, you know, and the pain that it causes, because stress is one of the number one killers of our people today. And gentrification, meaning the raising of one's rent or the possibility of eviction, or, you know, all of this stress that the elders are put under, thinking that they're gonna be evicted at like 88 or something, or whatever, 58, 48. We could speak about those negatives as we've often done, but let's speak about the positives of neighborhoods that are basically evolving before our very own eyes. You understand? Because what I'm not gonna do and what I don't advise anybody to ever do, don't ever in your life place yourself outside of any edifice or any building that you niggas was old enough to watch get built in front of your face. How dare you? You know what I'm talking about? That's not the mentality that I'm going to subscribe to. I'm going to politely remove myself from anybody that's trying to dissuade or act like people building $1 million facilities in your neighborhood or multi-million-dollar buildings that are have amenities and are brand new is something that you should actually feel victimized by. No, nigga, I'm penthouse status. What is you talking about? I'm gonna get in any building that I see fit to get into. There's no building that you could build around me. A man who clearly used to live in multiple castles of marble, mahogany trimmings. You understand? Like I was in Alhambra. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I come from royalty. Like, I've been in castles carved out of stone in the middle of mountains. So you mean to tell me that you niggas built a new building in the hood and I can't get in there? Or I'm supposed to feel elated because you building castles in the hood now? No. I'm like, nigga, it's castles in the hood. Go find your way in there. Fuck is you talking about? I'm not gonna, no. I don't look at it like that. I'm like, you goddamn it, you goddamn right. Rebuild this shit if you need to. Get them cranes moving. You know what I mean? I like to see new shit. I'm not feeling intimidated because the peckerwoods are running around. You know what I'm saying? Jogging around me, and you know the poodles are active, and they like to sit outside and drink wine and tea. You feel me? I wasn't looking for their acceptance. I'm not checking them. I feel them checking me. You understand? I'm not here for that. You know, when we talk, we have a conversation. I'm not antisocial. So I chop it up. I was chopping it up with one of the coolest Caucasians on the planet today at my booth. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of their teachers. Like, I'm not intimidated, nor do I feel, no, nor do I approach any of them from a position of inferiority or any kind of, you know, I don't gotta apologize for being me. You should get like me. You should get like that. This shit is a freedom that you can't fucking buy at the Apple store. Talk black to me. You understand? So, you mean to tell me that Jimmy and Jen and all of them and fucking Herbert is gonna make me feel intimidated? You know what I'm talking about? When my melanin is active, my shit is kicking. You know what I'm talking about? My melanin is vibrating. How do you niggas have these conversations? Do you know what it is to be in white spaces and your melanin is vibrating, nigga, what are you talking about? That comes from people who've never been in white spaces and your melanin and your third eye and everything is lit. All of your shit is on. You paid your bills. There's nothing to worry about. You're the power in the room. Nigga, you power the room. You're the energy source. You are the sauce. They don't have no sauce in their chicken. Nigga, you coming in fully sauced. You understand? You're coming in marinated, my Negroes. You know what I'm talking about? You got all the sauce. That's a factory. What are you talking about? Have you niggas? You know what I'm saying? You niggas must not be lit. You don't have a divine. Your divine spark must not be lit, because when it is, it's like, what are you saying? My melanin is popping. How you doing? You know what I mean? You actually gotta dodge them. So I don't get it. Why people act like this is something that's fucking life threatening or it's the end of the world. Level up, nigga. Yeah, the brownstones are 20 million. You would look good in one of them. Who's talking about how to get into these ivory castles? That's what I want to. Where's these niggas at? Are they still on the run? Where the guys talking about how to get in these ivory towers? You know what I mean? Because we should be having more of those conversations. If Jay Morrison is in that convo, salute to him. But we could own condos. Nigga, we're in a technological age. The reason why they're paying $3,000 a month rent, the reason why they're hopping into these ivory towers is because they tapped into industries that niggas have not even sniffed out yet. That's a super fact. They're getting bread. Oh, they have trust funds and whatnot. That's a factory. We could say that. But you niggas give these Europeans all the power, all the credit. They don't even need Equifax and TransUnion with groveling Negro unions, because you give them all the credit. You understand? They get all the credit from you Negroes. You Jeffro Bodine ass Negroes. You give them all the credit. You will never take anything back. You niggas are not Indian giving. You're not taking anything back. They shit is clear. You know what I mean? According to you, they could do, they have all the money and everything is just straight with them. No, it's not how I see it. Everybody, we got more than that. Fuck is you talking about? We in abundance. They figured out the game a lot earlier than you niggas did. That's one of the reasons. Oh, they're rich off of cotton money. How many of them? Do you know that for a fact? How many of them? You niggas just paint all of them as being wealthy and being cotton hairs and whatnot. It's not that deep. You got Irish people whose ancestors was considered niggas up into the 30s and whatnot. You got Italians who was looked down upon. You got Jews who lived in tenements and ghettos and was filthy and considered the filth, and people spit on them. This was as early. This was all the way up into the 50s. What is you talking about? You niggas dropped the ball. Fuck is you saying? This some new shit. This some new shit. And you giving them so much credit. They have not earned it. Not to take anything. You gotta take something back. You are seducing the minds, the poverty-minded consciousness of our people by giving these niggas A1 credit when they don't deserve that. They came up after the world wars and a whole bunch of paper gangster shit. The revolution was bloodless. It was all on paper. They switched the books and did a whole bunch of shit on niggas. You feel me? But they wasn't, I don't know what, I don't know. Matter of fact, I know who a lot of the people's teachers are that make these blanket statements, because it's obvious that, they're learning from people who, teachers who are not even qualified to, not, they're not qualified as master teachers. They be repeating shit that their college professor told them. That's their teacher. You know what I mean? The nigga who put them in debt to lie to them. That's their teacher. Somebody who lied to them. They won't even denounce their college teachers that lied to them, and them niggas is paying back to college for being lied to. They won't even denounce them, but they want to talk about niggas on YouTube. And niggas on YouTube help free more niggas, because free your mind and your ass will follow. More niggas on YouTube, you know what I mean? Literally, niggas with gold teeth and niggas with pants sagging, you know what I'm talking about? And niggas with speech impediments, and niggas with long, lengthy rap records and rap sheets. Them niggas cut cords, unplug niggas, free broke fucking chains, went in and start drilling niggas on some old, Deep Seal 6, knocked down walls of Jericho, and broke niggas out of the plantation that niggas was on. And your fucking college professor and Cornell West didn't do that, nigga, and Obama didn't either, my nigga. Fuck is you saying? You know what I'm talking about? What are you talking about? And they don't get no credit. Niggas don't get no thanks. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing. There's no rain. There's no pot at the end of that rainbow. And we'll still refer to the same person who blatantly, they didn't all the way lie to you. They half lied to you. They gave you portions of the truth. They gave you a redacted story. They gave you a prepared and a revised and a revisioned. Do you know what revisionist history means? Do you know what revised history means? Nigga, can I revise a song? Can I revisit? Can I revision your vision? Can I reconstruct your bars? If you reconstructed a classic album and you reconstructed the bars of a classic song, will that shit still be fire? Huh? You know? So they're editing shit, they're switching it up, they're remixing, and that's what they're giving you. Some shit to leave you confused because you only get a half truth. And they're not digging in. How the fuck can they give you world history, global history, a million-year history, 1,000-year history, 100-year histories, and and miss over the most important shit that the conscious community brought to y'all? And that was the Moorish history, that was the Kemetic history, that was the American indigenous history, and a whole bunch of other shit. So these people should be held higher and more revered than your college professors. Because they managed to do for free or for $10 at the door, or maybe even $40, what $40,000 couldn't do. Okay? Because I even know people who's making buku dollars off of being independent as they own business, and they learned everything about their business from the conscious internet. I'm just call it the conscious internet. Better than saying the conscious community, I say the conscious network. Right? They've benefited off of the information because let's get into this conversation. And I've dropped it in the video that we did yesterday at Dance Africa that's on the page. That we live in the age of experience. we've upgraded from the age of experience, information, into what is known as the age of experience. This age that we now currently find ourselves in, for those of us who can identify the signs and the times in which we are living in, because we understand that there's a large number of us who cannot, they're living in this day but not of this day. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. People time travel all the time. But for those of us who are here today, we know, and we can we understand, and we can testify that that we the best, nigga. You know, we could testify that the work that's being done is waking up and breaking up and making up millions of people. That's a factory, for the good or the better, for the ugly, the good, the ugly, everything. They getting it all. Astaghfirullah. But let me tell you something. And this is based off of conversations that I'm having everywhere that I'm going. It's not just at festivals. It's in every single state that I'm pulling up in. Most of the states that are on this line tonight, because 80% of those states that are on the line that I shouted out, I've already passed through these states. Either me and Blue, KT, Mama Pill, or just me, or just Blue, or KT and Mama Pill. You know, um, and that's how you build networks. You know what I'm saying? That's how you develop that's how you develop relationships and bonds, and that's how you help invigorate communities. Like, you got to remember, everywhere that you go, you are potentially watering the seeds and planting them at the same time. You a planter. You got to go back to see what have the seeds that you planted grown into. You understand? That's like if you go to a town that you tied down, or you go to a town that you used to go to school in, or you go to a town that you used to get money in, or you go to a town that, you know, used to run around in, or whatever. You see some of the seeds that you've planted have grown either into weeds or flowers, oak trees for that matter. People that could be like, yo, my nigga, you inspired me. I was a young jit. I was a youth looking up to you. Now look what I'm doing. Yo, when you helped me out, when you was getting money, I put that into college, and now I'm a doctor. You know, things like that begin to happen. You begin to see the impact of your inspiration. You begin to see the impact of the fact that you planted these seeds, and not only did life water them, you watered them. Because I got people that'll be like, yo, I remember some shit that you said to me 8 years ago. And the fact that I might not even seen you for 8 years, but whenever I seen your videos, you was touching on some of the shit that you was touching on 8 years ago. That shit inspired me to touch on da 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 da. And it's a chain reaction. And you gotta know the importance and the power of the words, you know what I'm saying, that you speak to people, because they're gonna be seed planters, whether it's positive or negative. And honestly, to keep it 100 with you, I would suggest, highly that you plant positive seeds. There's enough negative ones currently planted. I don't think that they need help in that category. You don't have to render your services for something that's saturated. What you should be doing is focusing your energy, your collective mind states, your creativity, your innovativeness, and your fearlessness to the portion that's underdeserved, and basically underdeveloped, underfunded, underappreciated. Okay? And what that would be is, the category of, somebody said the weed is the new crack, you know. But it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, people are not going to stop being who they've determined that they want to be. That's a fact. I can tell you that. You can't put somebody to sleep that woke up. There's only two ways out of that shit. I'm coming to Black and Nobel July 17th, Philadelphia. Oh, that's another date. Philadelphia, Black and Nobel, July 17th, pardon me. Black and Nobel, Professor James Small, Red Pill, Blue Pill, July 17th, Philadelphia, Philly in the building. All right, I definitely want Philly and Newark and all of my Jersey family. I mean, all of my Pennsylvania family, for that matter. Pull up, you know what I mean? Pull up. It's gonna be classic. We're gonna talk about spirituality. We're gonna get into the facts. We're gonna get into some information that you've never heard before. We're gonna get into all things. So make sure that you're in the building. Okay? That's Black and Nobel. Go to Black and Nobel's page on Instagram, and you'll see the video that we did, and you'll also see the flyer with all of the additional information. But Third Eye Thursday and also the next Melanin Monday, we will give you all of the information that you require, and the links will be in the description box right now as you're watching the video, so you can click on those links and they could take you to your destination, so you could complete your purchase. You know, it's an honor seeing my elders at all of these festivals. I'm proposing that we have a collective, you know, I would say initiative, a collective goal, right? To a collective goal to take care of our elders, you know, the ones who have put in uh, insurmountable work, you know. I think that it's time, as a community, as a network, and as a family, that not just on some old scary stuff, like there needs to be enclaves in the Caribbean or in Africa or in blue zones. You know what blue zones are? Blue zones are the places where the centurions live, people who are 100 and better. And these blue zones should have eco villages and resorts where our elders and our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents could go and rest and, unplug from the vigors of the hamster wheel and the vigors of this cold ass concrete jungle that don't love no elders. You know what I'm talking about? We should begin to honor, we should begin to respect, we should begin to protect, and we should also begin to, fulfill the teachings of those elders, because all of these elders give us ancient African, ancient Kemetic, ancient indigenous and ancient Moorish, ancient Hebraic traditions, and all of those traditions speak in extensivities, not only about taking care of your elders or respecting your elders or exonerating your elders. It speaks about building a paradise for your elders so your elders can feel the appreciation and the love. Let me share something with you. The elders were were exuberant today in this whole weekend by receiving the amount of love and adoration and congratulations and thanks that they were receiving from the family, young, old, middle age. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? I saw the elders lighting up because people wanted to take pictures and they were hugging them and they were telling them how much they loved them, loving on them. Something that our people do in church, something that our people do in the gangs, something that our people do in many places where we get together. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. Our people see our elders and we love on them. Oh, come here. I love you. Let me hug you. Let me touch you. Let me take a picture with you. You inspire me. You're the greatest. You know, filling them up with that energy that they need. It's healing. I promise you. The energy of the family and these festivals and these lectures and these gatherings, whenever we come together where it's more than 3 of us, is magical. I mean, it's sacred. There's nothing on the planet. It's Oregon. There's nothing on the planet that can topple that. There's nothing on the planet that can compare to that. There's nothing on the planet that can even come close to that feeling. I don't know if you understand this, and I have not been in the presence. I've been in the presence of 1 million of us. What's fucking with that? In Washington, D.C., at the 1 Million Man March, part due in 2015 or 16. What, or else, justice or else, nigga. And it was lit. I felt like a god, and I was sober. I felt like a god. I felt like I could be up there because so many people were talking to us about how inspired the videos and the movement and the knowledge, you know what I'm talking about? And the wave and all of the contributions and everything. I was with Sanetta and Sankofa. And Polite was out there. Umar was out there. It was a few people out there. And the amount of people that knew everybody that I just named, we could have had our own Million Man March. And that's nothing. That's to tell Farrakhan that you doing a great job because, you know, the children of your era who were probably listening to you when they were teenagers have come into their own and have risen up through the ranks and the files, and now they shining their lights and they're dropping information and they're electrifying the people. You know what I'm talking about? And they're creating waves and tidal waves that hasn't been seen since the earlier days of a Louis Farrakhan and other, you know, teachers when they were coming up, like a Khalid Muhammad. Wave is a wave, right? So he should be proud. He'd be like, put them brothers on the screen. Let them talk to the people. Let them talk black to me, right? Because, you know, influencers are doing the work. You know, they're on the ground. They're on the underground railroad. You know, freeing the people's mind, making it right, digging deeper. You know, going into the inception mode, going into the subconsciousness, going 4 levels deep. You know, it's levels to this shit. So there's been teachers who have come along who have taken it to very deep levels. There's teachers who come along who fill in the blanks on levels that are often glossed over, like health, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Africa. You know what I'm talking about? Uh, there's a few others. So collectively, our teachers and our lecturers and our scholars, you know what I'm saying, have collectively come together and formed Voltron, and they've disrupted and they've broken the spells and they've lifted the veils on almost every single topic or every single stronghold of the system that has been erroneously labeled white supremacy. You know, black people wasn't saying that shit a few years ago. That's just an FYI for the timestamp. Like, black people wasn't saying that years ago. It's black people that even know that shit, what the fuck white supremacy was. And they was like, white what? But now that's a thing, so, you know. Yeah. Shout out to Happy Monkey. You know what I'm saying? If anybody is in New York, you know who this. You should know who this is. Happy Monkey is the way they very wavy. Shout out to them. You know. But yeah. So yeah, we gonna wind it down in a little while. You know, it's late. I got a lot of things that I need to do. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of things coming up. I want y'all to get some sleep. You feel me? It's been a very long weekend. Uh, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we did Dance Africa. Highly successful. Thousands of people. I met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe thousands. Took hundreds of pictures, hugged hundreds of babies, shook hundreds of hands, made thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? And it was a great event. Uh, I hope your weekend was fulfilling. I hope your weekend was satisfying. Well, I prepared for this. One of the reasons why I was successful because there was preparation involved and focusedness. So in this retrograde, I understand the power of the expansion of Saturn. You know, and I know what Pluto is too. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely and also that Scorpion moon. So this was a powerful event. Um, we're gonna put pictures up on the gram. You know what I mean? Some of the top pictures. There's a lot of pictures from this weekend. A lot of, because there's a lot of powerful people out here. You know what I mean? Mama Pill was in the building. You know what I'm talking about? King Simon in the building. Sassad was in the building. Sabi's son, Ma'a was in the building. Red and Blue was in the building. My sister Nashimia was in the building. You know, uh, it was a lot of people. Baba Samaj. Um, it was a lot. I could go on for days. Grand Pooba, shout out to Grand Pooba. You know what I'm talking about? Grand Pooba pulled up from Brand Nubian, the legend. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was just crazy. Whenever our people come together, it's crazy. It's a vibe. It's a movement. You know, it needs to be um, alchemized into something even more prosperous, in my humble opinion. A level that we've never seen before. We have the potential. We're not even really touching that shit. You know what I'm talking about? It's not even being fulfilled. It's not being realized, and that's a factory. You can only be honest about it. It could be changed overnight. But we have to identify the fact that a lot of these events could be going in a way different, direction, with all of this combined income, with all of this combined talent, with all of this combined, with this money circulating the way that it does, and all of these small businesses who could be invested into. You could invest in 20 businesses and have the potential of becoming a multimillionaire in a few years just based off of one of those businesses. You know, this shit is too easy. Like I've said, this is the age of experience. The age of information is still here, but it's not what's in the front of the operating system. This is the age of experience. That's why virtual is coming in. That's why AI is coming in. That's why augmented is already in. People want to experience things. The Oculus Rift, the halogens, they're coming. They're integrating with Facebook. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. But there's also the age of experience through people's smartphone. You want to see it, but you want to do it. You dig what I'm saying? You want to see people that are doing it. This is not the information. The information age is when we were studying, when we were debating, when we were compiling, when we were going through all of this. Now it's about experience. Now you don't read about rock climbing. Nigga, you go and climb the rock. So this is about living this shit. It ain't about talking about it, and it's not about reading about it anymore. It's about living it out. It's about being the book of Eli. You understand? That's what the age of experience is. And technology, the rise of technology has is enhancing the age of experience. This live stream is called experience. This is the age of experience. We were not doing this 5 years ago. You cannot experience me live. We cannot experience, I'm broadcasting all around the world in real time, you feel me, through my phone at late at night to people all around the world. I'm broadcasting around the world at a time that I made up. I selected the time, right? This is not the world news, my nigga, with Ted Koppel, where if you don't catch that shit at 11, you didn't catch a TED Talk, right? No, nigga, this is a time that I created. I made up the time. If I want to do it at 11:11, 12:11, 11:13, I could do it. And I could talk to thousands of people, hundreds of people, millions of people in real time, and nobody's stopping me. Nobody's coming in between and telling me what I can and can't say, cannot say, should not say. You know what I mean? Would not say. They don't tell me I can't talk in Swahili. You know what I'm talking about? They don't tell me I can't talk in code. They don't tell me I can't talk black to you niggas. They don't tell me anything. There's nobody stopping me from having an intelligent conversation with intellectual people, you know what I mean, around the world on a weekly basis, right? Where we celebrate our melanin and our third eyes on Thursday. So, what are we talking about? What do you mean? Like, who's in the way of anybody? What the fuck you mean? We're gonna wait and see until we start this. Like, let's just wait and see what happens until things get better. Nigga, what? You're not living in the age of experience. You're in the age of information. Oh, I see. We're on the same planet, but on different planes. I'm living the experience. I don't see any problems. You know what I'm saying? All I see is opportunity to create algorithms. All I see, I want to sit down with Idris to talk algorithms because you niggas got 99 problems and we could solve all of them. That's how I'm thinking. I don't know how these. It's experience. It's because of experience. This is about experience. What is your experience? You're going to you're going to be valued based off of your experience. Hashtag, where were you? You know what I'm saying? Based of your experience, if you could prove that this is what my life was like. Age of experience, not age of information. We're going into experienced. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Go and do the research. I'm not freestyling. I'm just giving you some facts. This is not just mumble jumble or psychobabble. This is something that's already known by individuals who deal with lexicon, and they also deal with they understand the importance of new lexicon and introducing new lexicon into the lexicon, and the fact that the lexicon has changed around the world and in circles and in places where people are operating at a higher frequency and where people are operating at a place where they're creating and they're inventing and they're becoming masters of this universe, because they're talking mathematical in a digital age. You understand? They're talking futurism in the motherfucking days of tomorrow. They're talking futurism in the future. Do you not know you're in the future? Do I have to remind you? You know what I mean? Do niggas need a lecture on how we're in the future? That we're in the future that's been predicted? Like, we're on that ship. But the only thing that we talking about future is the nigga that's on, lean, free bands. We not really having a futuristic conversation. This nigga's still in the age of information where they want to take you all the way back in the DeLorean with no experience. There's no halogen. Apps or halogen. Let's go to the 18th dynasty or Oculus or micro lens. I don't know of any. I haven't seen any experience that could be related to anything from any of the black authors, any of the black Afrofuturists, Octavia Butler. I don't see anything inspired by Sun Ra. There's so much voids out there. But I digress, because the game is definitely not to be told. It's definitely not to be told. So we ain't gonna be up here doing. I spoke about this last week. It's a difference between public and private information. You know what I'm talking about? So on facts2020.org and that private situation and that private destination, yeah, we talk private talk. We talking private. We have conversations that's not for public, because everything is not for the public. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who the hell is tuned in. You don't know who's feeding off of the cloth and putting that in their broth. You know what I'm talking about? And niggas is attracted to the light like a moth. Do you know who I meet in my travels and who's feeding off of the light? Do you know who I run into on my travels? It's not everybody that looks like us. Be aware of that. There's a lot of people feeding off the light like a moth, feeding off the cloth, sipping on the broth. Niggas last name Roth. Okay. They want the sauce. We're being studied meticulously like scientists by people who don't look like us, with the needs and the wanting to duplicate and to clone us. That is a fact. That's a factory. That's a facsimile. There are people who are studying us big time on higher collegial levels, and also in places where they have long bread, and they're researching all of these videos, and they're cross-referencing, and they're running a whole bunch of tests involving a lot of individuals who are seen and known as these light bearers of today. And that's a fact. And there's no fear attached to that. That's a fucking factory. But it's nothing to be afraid of. Because they're gonna study your greatness anyway when your ass is out of here. You're gonna turn into a mortal anyway on some Nipsey shit, and people are gonna want to listen to your catalog anyway. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be alarmed. You know, you raise the suspicions of people who are afraid of the truth being disseminated. That's just a fact. That's something that you should learn to live with. You are raising the red flags of individuals who have a monetary relationship and obligation, or a monetary oath. I would say a monetary oath to keeping you in the state and condition that you're in. There are people making millions of dollars off of the fact that niggas is dragging their knuckles, and they're literally the walking dead, and they're literally cannon fodder, and they're literally savages and beasts, and they're literally in their lower selves, and they're completely you know, they're completely void of knowledge of self. This is something that they know. They are the scientists who study and crunch the numbers that we don't crunch. They are the researchers and the social workers and the hospital workers and the scientists and the lawyers and judges and the people who do nothing but collect data upon data upon data. All of these different places where you find them. Bankers, these are the bankers. All of this is data. All of this is information. All of this is your most known secrets. If the banker don't get it, the therapist will get it. If the therapist don't get it, the teacher will get it. If the teacher don't get it, the secretary will get it. The boss will get it. If they don't get it, somebody's gonna get it. Somebody, and they're always probing you, and they're always trying to tap in and find your power source, and they're always trying to take over, and they're always trying to either tap in and cut into the line. So now I'm gonna just let that marinate for a minute. I'm not even gonna go. I'm just let that shit sit there for a minute. That's hit me with a you know, Don DeMarco. Talk black to me, like, you know. It's crazy. So one of the things that I know without a reasonable doubt, and this is in no offense to anybody else, because like I said, I'm a cosmopolitan renaissance kind of man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm a global citizen. You know, I travel all, you know, I'm galactical. So I'm not impervious to borders and nationalities and whatnot. But what I know is this: when our people of a certain vibration come together and come together in love and come together in purpose, and come together organized, because the way the festivals work is that they're organized, and the organization aspect of it keeps order, and the aspect of order prevents chaos, and the aspect of chaos being prevented allows love and allows peace and allows people to prosper and allow money to be made and allow people to laugh and have fun and feel safe, and for the families to come out and the sun to keep shining and everything to go according to plans. So you have to have order, and you have to have some kind of organization, and you have to have a level of teamwork. If you're not willing to do that, you should stay lonely by your goddamn self in a motherfucking basement or somewhere in solitary confinement. But don't involve other people. Play your part. And there's nothing wrong to feel like that, but play your part. There's people who have, better intentions and plans. You know. And I'm not even saying it on some kumbaya shit too. I don't want to get it fucked up. Like, everybody ain't the same. Everybody ain't on the same plane. Everybody ain't vibrating the same. Everybody ain't not on the same page. Everybody's not walking in the same light. Everybody is not here for the same thing. So we got to figure it out. Everybody got to figure out what lane they, they occupy. You know what I'm saying? And occupy that lane, and ride that shit out. Because, like I said, this is the time that a lot of people waited for. This is the time that a lot of people have been preparing for and putting in work for. You know what I mean? Like, these are some interesting times. But I'm here to let you know that there's been a shift, and that shift is making a lot of the things that we've been building on, knowing about, talking about, prophesizing, decoding, unpacking, it's starting to become mainstream. It's starting to become very mainstream, and it's about to receive mass adoption, because it's a disruptor that it cannot be stopped. You understand? Consciousness is a disruptor that cannot be stopped. Cannot stop the waking up of people, melanated people, to be exact, around the world, to be exact, at a fast pace, to be exact, with shit that knocks them out of their fucking baby chair, to be exact, to having the same impact on them that it had on you. Nigga, who are you? You know what you felt like when you saw your first conscious video, niggas, I guess, or something like that? You know what it felt like? The awakening, the red pilling moment. I'm going to do a whole series where I'm going to ask people, when was your red pill moment? Because they got this whole red pill name. This brand is a little muddy right now because there's a whole bunch of shit attached to it that don't got nothing to do with red pill. You know what I mean? But that time when you woke up, think about somebody in Africa. Think about a brother in New Zealand. Think about somebody on the Congo. Think about somebody in Brazil, Jamaica, Haiti, Uganda. These are people with the God particles in them. These are people with with the divine spark. These are people who might be the next, the God of Uganda. They might wake up the gods that are sleeping all around the world, just based off of what's going on YouTube and what's soon to be, shown on the big screen, and what's already in the form of documentaries like Hidden Colors and shit like that. This there's an impact. There's an impact that can be quantified, qualified, and commodified if need be. So I'm just giving you the heads up. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you the stock tip. You know what I mean? For all of the people who are proactive out there, who's sitting on triple B's and whatnot, Bentley seats, and you niggas was out there listening to what's been said over the years, and you applied it. You live in the age of experience rather than the age of information, because you're experiencing consciousness rather than, being informed about it. You know what I'm talking about. You know, that this shit is a vehicle that you could use to do anything that possibly anything that you want. Because I'm telling you, I've seen things done that niggas with millions of dollars could not do. I've seen things done on shoestring budgets. I've seen things done on shoebox budgets that dudes with $1 million budgets could not do. Couldn't come close to it. Like I said before, the majority of the videos that people see on 125th Street throughout the years, right? The ones that went super viral and was wild wavy, and classic ones, even the debates and whatnot, those were shot on a Canon camera, and most of the editing was done on iMovie or Final Cut. I'm talking about democratization of the tools of creators, right? Utilization of public platforms, utilization of basic tools to do what niggas with red cameras, 4K and drones, Final Cut X, and all of these higher events, Adobe Premiere, special effects. A lot of them is not able to do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they gave a fuck, or if they were really in this shit to do what needs to be done, nigga, they would be doing that shit. Because here it goes, niggas on their lunch break on 125th Street for the past 12 and 13 years, they decide to start having a cipher and a build with a camera setup, or sometimes on a camera phone, because the newer camera phones have replaced the DSLRs and they shoot 4K. So you got dudes having conversations or builds or debates in the street. These things are going viral and they're impacting people, and it wasn't even any editing. There's no post-production. It's a fucking intro, the video, and an outro, my nigga. And this shit is having the impact of a nuclear bomb on the fucking minds and the hearts of, and I'm telling you, millions of people. Cause just the young grasshopper, little old me, little Bo Peep, nigga. If I get stopped the amount of times that I get stopped randomly every fucking where that I go, I can imagine people who are, also very much well known, and also have very large followings and whatnot. I can imagine how that shit is for them. But like I said, the power's in the people. We get together, we get to solve everything. And I seen that this weekend. Like I said, that was just 1% of us. Imagine if 20% of us came together. Imagine if 5% of us came and linked up. Imagine if 10% of us linked up. It's crazy. I can't even say 100%, because when a 100% of us link up, why are we even worried about niggas that's not on the wave, who don't get this, who ain't living like this, whose age is not reversing. You know what I'm talking about? Whose life is not leveling up. You know what I mean? Those niggas. Who cares about them? You already got numbers. You got a fucking standing army, nigga. It's kingdoms and shit. This is Game of Thrones, nigga. You got flying dragons in this bitch. Every city is lit, nigga. It's litty everywhere. As you can see on a roll call, the whole USA is in here. And it's late at night. This is you know what I mean? This ain't even a full, a packed room. So I just want to let y'all know the solutions are in the people. The solutions are all in all of us. If every single one of us that's on this live stream tonight knew the skill set and the gift and the talent that the other person had and what they bring to the table and things of that nature, we could get a lot of these perceived problems solved quickly. That level of discipline, that level of organization, and that level of preparedness has to be put together by a team of individuals, the same way like all great things have been put together by teams of individuals who either stuck to a plan or developed it as they go along. I mean, there's formulas that are out there. So we just follow the formulas that are out there that already been proven to work. So we organize and then we rise. That's the motto of facts2020.org. We organize and we rise. Let's organize and let's rise. I could have got my 10,000 members this whole weekend if I was out there in Facts 2020 mode, because I was out there with my Kings County brand. So I was in Kings County mode. You know what I'm talking about? It's a whole nother mode when you out there trapping. You know what I'm talking about? When you out there working, because I'm at my job. I'm theoretically working. Whenever you saw me on 125th Street, 98% of the time, I was at my job working. I was working. I was making my $40 to $60 an hour, standing outside in an open air market. You know what I mean? Exchanging goods and services for monetary compensation in the form of fiduciary notes, otherwise known as ferns or fiat. Okay? And I bartered on a few occasions. Yeah, but that's what I was doing. And during that time, we were filming our videos and putting, the information out there. I didn't wake up that day thinking about that. You get asked a question and you answer it, and then you go back to work. And then you go on YouTube and you see your video, but you got to get back to work the next day because baby got to eat. Rent got to be paid. Lights got to stay on. Phone got to stay vibrating. You know what I mean? Businesses got to be fed. Ventures have to be funded. Missions have to be carried out. Traveling got to take place. Websites got to get built. Designers have to get, paid. It's a bunch of shit. The thousands of dollars that it takes to design clothes and to make clothes and to manufacture it, that has to go into play. And then you live in a state where none of the promoters have ever really booked you, or you know they're not running they ain't running around throwing bags at you, so you got to feed yourself. You got to kill to eat. You know what I mean? So when I'm in that state, I've been doing this for more than 10 years. Nigga never came with near bag. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga never came with near check. So it's all about carrying this thing all the way through. Shout out to all of my supporters. Shout out to everybody who has definitely broken bread. Y'all the most important ones. Y'all the most relevant ones. Y'all the ones who matter the most, because y'all are the ones who, kept this thing doing what it does. You know, and all of the supporters, all of the Cash Appers, all of the PayPalers throughout all of the years, all 1% of y'all. You know what I mean? It's love, super love. But that never determined the trajectory. That never predetermined anything. Like, I would never let anything get in the way of greatness. I would not let anything get in the way of me being great, because I never come on YouTube for money anyway. I never come on Facebook or Instagram for a fucking dollar, because I'm at work. Why don't I get super chat? Bro, This channel has never been monetized since 2012. Okay, they gave it back to me in 16, and they took it away. I don't think y'all understand that YouTube and these networks do not rock with us. They hide our videos, they ghost our pages, and they're not paying us a coin. I've never cashed a YouTube check, maybe twice. Okay, real small change. You know what I mean? I don't even know what that shit feels like. And I got millions of hours. I have 700 videos that I downloaded into a 4 terabyte hard drive of videos, and I collected those months ago, and I've already did a whole bunch after that. So I'm obviously not doing this for a fucking coin. I'm obviously not doing this for a YouTube check, nigga. I don't care about the check. I am the fucking check. Nigga, I cash my own checks. Nigga, I'm a fucking check. You know what I'm talking about? If I show up with you, nigga, I'm the check. Nigga, you made it. So I don't get caught up in the fucking pennies and the little peanuts that YouTube deems to throw at niggas for giving them all of this fucking priceless footage. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. So I'm in fucking hyena mode when I'm behind my table. I can't even be a scholar. Niggas be wanting to come and have me do a lecture while I'm trying to sell clothes. But I got mouths to feed, and after those mouths to get fed, it's a whole bunch of other shit that got to get done. And that's my business. That's how I've been doing that. I don't have to call nobody with RH blood a boss. Mentally, that has done wonders for me, because as a youth, I was reared and groomed by a society of sociopaths in Brooklyn, New York, to be very aggressive and very, you know, very threatening and non-compliant with Europeans when they became aggressive. Not to pick on them or anything. When they became aggressive, that's what we were taught to do. So I can't fit into, you know, the comfortable nest of a corporate America, things of that nature. I don't wish to live, you know, in that reality. I don't wish to have that infinity stone. You know what I'm talking about? I don't wish to have that infinity stone. I took my infinity stone and I created my own fucking reality. I believed in myself. You know what I mean? I said it before. I hired myself so I could retire myself. And when I start fucking up, I'm gonna have to fire myself. You understand? So it's a lot of self-care that has to take place. There's a lot of self-control and self-mastery. It's a lot of things that have to fall into place when you playing this game, because this ain't child's play. This is not child's play. The stakes is high. I'm playing on a galactical level. I'm playing on a global level. I'm playing on a, you know, I'm on a floor. This the finals, nigga. I'm on the floor. Talk black to me. Like, who else is? I mean, what warriors are on the floor? I know I'm one of them. I don't got an injury. I'm not on KD's time. Nigga, I'm young Steph. I'm on the floor. Who's running with us? It's 2019 finals. A year before 2020. Who's on the floor? And don't give me a whole bunch of random names, because I don't want to diss niggas. Praying for Ohio. What happened to Ohio? Talk black to me. Shout out to Red Pill. Shout out to Blue. Shout out to KT. Shout out to Rich. Shout out to Cambada. Tornadoes in Ohio. Church. I see jerseys in the rafters. Yeah, niggas played a good game. You know, we got some ballers out there that played a good game. Put up a whole bunch of points. Made a whole bunch of buckets. You know what I'm talking about? We can acknowledge them. We'll wear their jerseys are throwbacks. But we talking about this season. Right now, right here. You know what I'm saying? Why people love to take you all over into space, into places of, you know, antiquity. Because let's talk about right now. The present is a present, right? So you know, it's a reality that I hope, you know, you could one day see. Like I wish this on everybody. You know what I mean? To perceive. Remember, what you perceive is what you believe. So my perception of who I am in the scheme of things, along with my twin brother Felipe and Pablo, along with Mama Pill, along with my family members, along with Dr. Sabi, along with his extended family, along with everybody that I'm affiliated with, along with Queen of Four and her family, along with Dr. Phil Valentine and his family, along with Dr. Delbert Blair, along with Bobby Hemmett. You got to remember your network. If your network, and if you don't utilize and carry that and play that hand, you will never see the importance of the people who you have in your network until it's too late. Until it's too late. That is a fact. The depth of each person who I just named and their personal greatness is something that I can't even talk about if they allow me to live stream for 12 hours for 12 days straight. You know what I'm saying? These people, each one in their own rights. I could go on for days and name about 100 other people. But what I'm saying is, on some Nipsey Hussle type of shit, on some, yeah, Brother Panic, on some marathon type of shit. Brother, I say the Duke of Tears. These are the people that we, Brother A.A. Rashid, Rabbi A.A. Rashid, Black Dot. Like, these are some of the people who raised us out of our lower self, out of our death phase, out of our knuckle. Nigga, I was raised up out of my zombie. I told niggas before I'm Jon Snow with the Snow Beach. Nigga, I was dead. I was on a fucking, I was Jon Snow with, on life support. And I got waken up. I got awoken. I got jump started. Sabi, I give him the credit because it was in 2001, right before 9/11. I just came home August 28th from doing a parole violation in Mount Moriah, New York, shot parole. I went to the hotel, and he told me some shit that would forever change my life, and it jump started me. And then the towers fell right after that, and I hit the road running. And he made transition, and he was looking for me, and he wasn't able to find me, and I gotta live with that shit every day. And I know that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I wanted to tell him some things. He wanted to tell me some things. Like I said, go and get that book that Mr. G is putting out. There's a chapter called Finding Philip. That's on Mama. There's a chapter called Finding Philip where they're going to get into the relationship that Dr. Sabi had with one of the brothers that he was looking for feverishly, Philip, who's red pill, myself. You know, but that was my divine spark. That was my divine spark. And it was basically to the tune of, stop doing this to your mother. That's what it was to the tune of in 2001. Are you gonna be serious about this shit? Are you gonna keep making your mother, doing this, what you doing to her? Because when you're locked up, she's not happy. You know, there's, there's niggas think that there's benefits in being a knuckle dragger. Niggas think that there's benefits in being a savage that outweigh the motherfucking benefits of being a god or being enlightened or being awoken or being a motherfucking upright standard, citizen or being in your proper prashania or being a negus or being a naga. Niggas think that that shit outweighs this shit. You niggas done lost your minds. I'm here to let you know. I was nailed to the cross. I was crucified, me and my brother, on many occasions. My rap sheet is a fucking book. That's facts. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm actually embarrassed of the fact. My rap sheet is a book. It's a pamphlet. So my parents got that call on many occasions, nigga. I was in gifted school when I was young. Me and A.A. Rashid together, we were in gifted school. Okay? We were different. We were in gifted school when we were young. We were winning art prizes. I won an art prize in the summer when I was like 12. A state nationwide art contest. Like, we were destined for greatness. Niggas was set up to be Idris Sandus of our day. You know what I mean? Elon Musk, my nigga. What are you talking about? So the allure of the streets, the allure of the life, the allure of the motherfucking of the being a hood legend, the allure of all of chasing that mixtape dream, chasing that motherfucking Benjamin's dream, chasing Biggie. It was all a dream, chasing that shit. Hoes, clothes, money, bank rolls, and rolls. All a nigga knows. That part. That shit was intoxicating. Nigga, we was hypnotized. What are you talking about? Nigga, I was hypnotized. It took the towers to fall to break me out of that. And to be honest with you, I wasn't still broken out of it all the way. It took my son being born in 2007 to put me on this path. So it wasn't a book. It wasn't a teacher per se. I was fighting that shit like an ignorant horse. So I know when people is like, I don't even see that much resistance these days with knuckle draggers, the kind of resistance I was putting up. I was throwing my brother under the bus because he was conscious and I wasn't on that wave. So the transformation is the fact that my mother doesn't have to worry about that no more. My mama don't worry about the phone calls about that no more. My mama know that I'm living out my purpose and her other son is living out their purpose, and it doesn't matter about what the fate of that is. She just knows that there's a purpose that she saw in us, and that's what we living out. So I would say to anybody out there, I don't care who's listening to this, if there was a purpose that you could figure out that your parents, your mama or your father or your foster parent or your grandmama or your grandfather had for you or your aunt, your uncle, you should do that. You should try your best to fulfill that purpose. Tweak it if must. You got cheat codes now. But if they wanted you to be great, nigga, be great. You know what I'm talking about? If they wanted you to not be a fucking felon and living in jail, nigga, do that. If they did not want you to be a dope fiend, my nigga, don't be one. Because it's better on the other side. It's greater later. I promise you. Integrity and dignity and character over everything. You know what I mean? You gotta hold on to that. I don't know what these rappers is telling you niggas. I don't know what you niggas is hearing on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But you doing a lot of crazy shit that's gonna put your parents and your loved ones and cardiac arrest, and in a place of depression and anxiety and all kind of motherfucking PTSD, because you becoming prisoners of war in your own rights. You niggas are becoming legal slaves with 80-year convictions of slavery and 13th Amendment. You getting lashes. Taking penitentiary chances to do what? I'm not counting your money bag or whatever you're doing it for, but I'm just saying we have to weigh these things out. You know, and I'm not speaking to the choir. I'm talking to myself as well. We all been there. Nigga, we all been there. So I'ma just leave it on that. I could go on, but like I said, we spoke enough tonight. We built tonight. I've been really running on this battery since Friday. You know what I'm saying? There was some days that I didn't even sleep. So July 17th, we will have a more elevated picture, um, you know, slideshow presentation that is on the highest scholastic level, because we will be teaching with our master teacher elder, Professor James Smalls, in Philadelphia, uh, not at Black and Nobels. It's going to be at a black church. Um, the flyer will come out soon, but note it will be in Philly, July 17th. But before that, we'll be in Houston, June the 9th. I need y'all out there. I need y'all at the Shape Center, Sunday, June 9th. Red Pill, Blue Pill, Professor Griff. Fear of a Black Planet Part 2. The media manipulation of the melanated mind. And you know what's going on out here. A lot of shit. So we're going to unpack it. We're going to get into it. We're going to decode it. We're going to give y'all what y'all need. So please be in the building. Spread the word. We will be in Houston, June the 9th. Okay? June the 9th. All right? Shape Center. Pull up. Be there 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you want to vent, hit me on my IG, LEL underscore Filthmore, PHILTHMOOR. Hit me on the Cash App, money sign Phil Moreland. It's PHILMORELAND. Okay? Because I was seeing at the event when people were trying to pull up my name on Cash App was not letting my name pull up. I had to request money from them. So once again, we always have to be mindful of the games that these tech giants play, you know, but we ain't stressing nothing. All right? So with that being said, love and light to the family. All right, we'll see you on Third Eye Thursday. Tune into Tough Talk Tuesdays tomorrow with Blue Pill and Ken Bripson. Tough Talk Tuesdays tomorrow with Blue Pill. So tap into that. The live stream, oh my bad, the live stream, June 2nd. So before anything starts, we're going to get into hip hop, godhood, and kingship. American Gods. That's the name of the lecture. It's a precursor to the Blueprint 322.2 with A.A. Rashid, Red Pill and Blue Pill, the 10-year anniversary of our first lecture ever called Blueprint 322. So American Gods is going to talk about that TV show. American Gods is talking about hip hop. We get into some Nipsey talk. We're going to get into it. That's a live stream, so everybody around the world could watch that like you're watching this right now. AmericanGods.eventbrite.com. AmericanGods.eventbrite.com. That is next weekend, June 2nd. That is this weekend coming up. This weekend, June 2nd. I need y'all to go to Eventbrite and get the tickets before, that's this, and on Thursday we're gonna do a preview for American Gods so y'all can see what we working with, and we'll see you later. All right, peace and love.